decided we were going to go to the MLR. How did the MLR opportunity come back? Because obviously the MLR is really new at this point. It's only, what was it, 1 or 2 seasons? 2 seasons in when you joined?
Probably like 2 or 3 seasons in at that point, obviously post-COVID as well. So a new coach came to Glasgow. I still had a year and a bit of my contract. The coach said, do you want to stay or go? Because I'm happy if you want to go somewhere else. I'm bringing in a new number 8 on a back rower, so you're probably going to be further down the pecking order now. So I obviously could have just stayed and been at Glasgow. The way I was thinking was that at that point, I was probably 27, 27, and I thought to myself, I'm not going to make it past 30 playing this game. Like, my body was starting to feel it. You know, the question was probably starting to arise in my mind, like, how much longer can I keep doing this for? And I thought this might be a good opportunity to actually just head overseas and play and maybe play a little bit lower level and see how that goes. And I had an agent at the time who was an Australian, so he knew the coach at LA who was from Sydney, and just reached out to him and said, would you be interested in me? He was interested. And then I think there was DTH Van der Merwe. He'd been talking to them, so there was a bit of a link there. He put in a good word for me. Then Glenn Bryce as well. He actually ended up coming out to LA. So there was a few of us from Glasgow that went out there. But yeah, it was really just through a couple of different contacts and the idea of what the LA MLR team was trying to do seemed really cool. Like, it seemed like a great idea. So I was sold on it.
That's really interesting as well. You say that because you spoke about when the new coach comes in, because I've heard a lot of other players say when a new coach comes in, for people that aren't necessarily in the starting 15, it's like an opportunity to sort of really get your name back out there in the eyes of the coaches.
Yeah.
So to have a new coach come in and say, oh, this is actually the opposite for you, like there's now less chance to play because I'm bringing in players I've seen and I want. But then, like you said as well, it's like you realised that rugby was more than just the profession you had. You realised it was a door opener in a way. It's like there's a good chance to see the world here. So, and then I always find it really interesting how rugby agents work. I feel football agents really glamorize it and make it look like this incredible. Everybody's eating at 5-star restaurants every night, discussing how we get 300 grand a week checks. But then, obviously, there must have been quite an Australian influence over there because you're in that. You've now gone over to this MLR team, and there's quite a thing at this. How was the atmosphere when you first got to LA?
It was
that must have been culturally different from Glasgow North.
Yeah, heavily influenced by Aussies. Like, you know, had some world-class Australian players there, Americans, some Irish, some South African. So we had a mix of all sorts of different cultures. But like, yeah, I think the whole idea behind the team was that like, it was a newly formed team playing in a competition within America that, you know, everybody knows what the American dream is. Like, everything's just bigger here.
Yeah.
You know, the opportunity, the chance to grow the game, the way the club was going to be ran in terms of like financially, like there was not in terms of the player contracts that they were all what they were within the MLR, but like, you know, you were getting food every day. You were getting the opportunity to go out for a 5-star meal after a game. You know, like after the partner, they do all these different things. So there was a lot of things that I think were risks about going there. The fact that it was a new team, the fact that like you never know how that's going to work out. Is it going to be sustainable? Is it going to last long? Like, a lot of risks, but for somebody like me, it was quite well suited because at that point I had sort of, as you say, stepped back a little bit from me as the rugby player, and I was thinking more along the lines of what's going to be good for me as a person. Going and living in LA for a couple of years with my wife, having a cool experience and meeting cool people, you know, that for me was really, really interesting. Trying to do something special with a startup rugby team where there was no story previous to us getting there. We had to write the story, we had to build it from the ground up and create it. That's something to me that sounded really interesting, cool. Yeah, I could have went and played at another team, maybe in England. There was some chat about that, a little bit of chat about other overseas teams, but I mean, the opportunity to live in LA and be part of a new team with a really, I guess, an owner who was like a visionary. You know, he wanted to do things a certain way, do it in a different way. for me, that was really cool, and I was all for it.
That's class. Like, you say they had like a vision when they came in, and they really showed you like this is what we want the club to do. And obviously, like you came in, you didn't take part, you took over type thing. Like you came in, you won. Was that sold to you when like they were like pitching the club to you? Effectively, like we're not coming in to just assemble 15 boys that have trying to get paid somewhere. We're assembling a team that's going to come in and really, like you say, grow the game and put this division on notice type thing.
Yeah, pretty much. Like as the team started to build and the players, we knew who was coming. It started to become clear. Everybody was thinking about it. This is a team that is here to win this championship. Now that never actually probably got put into words until we actually got there to LA, and we had some fantastic leaders who had done amazing things in rugby who just weren't going to settle for any less than win the championship. So to have those experienced guys was massive for the group, and that was what was going to happen. Was we were going to win. Like everybody was aligned with that, and we managed to do that, which was amazing.
That sounds class, and it must have been fun. So how was that season playing out for you when you were 6? Like at this point, you're getting sun, sea, like good lifestyle, like you say, you're getting treated food, like everything's getting done like the right way. Like you're having just a good time, and you're like, this is what should be. And like you saying as well, it's like you're in America, you're in LA, the land of hope and dreams, the American dream. Like how was that lifestyle? Just that year when you've got all these boys together who are you're pretty much learning how to show people rugby in a very like there's a lot of activity in LA. Like it's not like it's just a quiet town. How was that year?
It was amazing. Like honestly, I had so much fun. Like we trained hard, we prepared well. We had some good coaches, we had some good players. Everybody in the team was brilliant. Like, it's just an unbelievable group of players. And we had a lot of fun. We went to the beach, we went out to the bars, we went to Venice Beach, we went to Santa Monica, we were out all the time. Like, and I don't mean all the time, like maybe on a Saturday after a game, or if we had a bye, we would be out. But it was just a completely different experience to what I'd been used to. Like living 100 meters from a beach, it's sunny every day. You never once train in the rain. You play at one of the best stadiums in the world, the Coliseum.
I was gonna say, yes, you guys were in the Coliseum at that point, weren't you? Yeah.
Oh, it was phenomenal. Like,
because at that point, I think the Chargers were either just out of there or they were still playing there, were they not?
yeah, so I think they did at one point. USC football team, they play there. So it's all kind of branded up for them. We went to a few of their games there. It was class, like full house, sold out. I mean, it was hard for us to grow rugby. There was just so much competition in LA. And
hey, thank you for listening to this Clips episode on YouTube. And then if you want to hear the whole podcast, you can find them on Apple or Spotify, as well as the full video version on this YouTube channel, alongside all the other great content we produce on a weekly basis. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you again on another Clips episode or in the full episode podcast. Tweet us, tag us, let us know what you thought. All the links are down in the description. It means the world that you guys come and support us, so thank you very much.